Afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for taking this hour to come and learn something different and exciting and that can potentially help your business. And so I wanted to talk about video editing because it is one of the things that we do all the time on social media. Everybody is doing some sort of video on some sort of level, right? So why not learn how to do videos? You never know. You might have to, do a video for your personal use, your business, maybe for your friend, your church, somebody like that. Whatever the use is, I just think this is a great way to learn how to use video editing for so many things. And as a small business, I had to figure this out, and I didn't have nobody teaching me. So I am willing to teach anybody how to do this because I think it should be something that should be easily, readily available. And I know some people are doing it on YouTube, but I figure in this specific setting, we're going to get really intimate. So please do not hesitate to take yourself off mute to ask me a question because it is really an informal training. And if I'm going too fast, let me know. If I say something that confused you, let me know. I'll re-clarify because I really want this experience to be something that you can walk away and grasp and be able to use it immediately, right? So let's go ahead and get started tonight. So just in case you did not see me before, which I'm pretty sure you already have, but ALSTNTEC, our business, we are a small business consulting and training company. That is our whole job, is to educate small businesses on different levels and aspects of their business, from startup to operation to marketing to finance. We want to make sure that you have everything you need to be successful because as a small business, it is very difficult to get out there and grow. But with the right information, you'll be armed with, being able to network, being able to communicate, being able to grow your business, sell your product, and actually make the business exactly the way you need it to be. And so that is our way of doing it. And in 26, we are using the motto better, smarter, faster, because we are getting rid of all of the fluff and we're getting right to the meat of it, right? We're getting right to the bone of it. We're not here to try to give you anything that's not going to be valuable or beneficial to you. So that is what ALSTNTEC is all about. And my name is Ann. You guys have probably seen me in the Q&A or met me somewhere else, but this is what I've been doing for 25 years. I also have an IT background, so I love doing both things. I have partnered with so many organizations to do this type of training. And as many of you know, I had to take a hiatus after COVID and then taking care of family issues. But now I am back. I am back to try to just like everybody else, try to get my business back up there and running. And so all of the things that I'm doing to get back out there, I am teaching you guys, right? So please make sure you suck this knowledge out of my brain and just refer people. So, all right, so let's get on to the teaching. So today, what I want to go over with you today is really just some academics about video communications in general, right? So the first thing we do is a lot of times is somebody would say, hey, just get your camera and let's just do some videos and put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, try to do some live stream. And then we will go out there and try to use our phone. We will go out there and try to do the best thing we can to try to make this video work. And then we're stuck with, okay, well, how do I actually like edit my video? How am I supposed to really make my video look professional like some of the videos you see out there on the internet, like the shorts and the reels and things like that? What all goes into just creating a simple video? Well, to be honest with you, it is a little bit of work if you know what you're doing, right? If you have taken the time to kind of learn. And so sometimes with all the information out there, it is really difficult to pinpoint what is the best method that you should take to edit a video or even to create a video, right? So tonight we're going to go over the different ways you can create one, and then I'm going to give you a demonstration of how to use ClipChamp. That's like a tongue twister to me. I don't know if y'all can say it, but ClipChamp is hard to say together, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to show you exactly how I use it, and I'm going to show you some of the features. And I've also included in the chat a quick sheet so that you can kind of get quickly understand like where the menus are, what the menus are supposed to do. And then I would just strongly advise that you just open up the software and just play with it, right? Just play with it. Do everything you can to kind of like have fun with it. And I'm also going to share you some tricks that I use to make your video look really, really nice, right? So I like sharing that kind of stuff. So again, if you guys have any questions, just raise your hand, take yourself off mute. Please ask a question. I would love to know what you guys are thinking and to help you out. Okay, so in addition to this, I have to say, please join my membership. This is a new thing for us. We are really trying to start a community of real businesses, people who are behind the internet that we're trying to pull out as real businesses so we can start collaborating, growing together, and building that communication that's going to help us as a small business community. It is 100% free. You don't have to pay anything. You just go to my website, log in, create a profile, and then there are two meetings. One, if you're in a small business class, you are definitely part of the alumni club, and so we'd love to have you in there. It is a special incentive for being in the class. You also get, other webinars that is not made to the public. I might share other information about business stuff that may not be shared to the public or in the Small Business Unity Hub. And the Unity Hub is really just for the general public who wants to come in. They may want to share the information. I'm trying to grow that public. So if you know people who want to be part of this community, have them, go to my website or follow me on Facebook. I'm also trying to do the same on Facebook. So, or not. All right, so let's get to it. So why are we making videos? Well, the first thing that people want to do is they want to sell something or they want to tell somebody about a service, or maybe they have a specific type of task that they're trying to share. They want to inform people, like what I'm doing right now with this video. They want to teach, they want to do a how to. We see that all the time. I love, doing a how to build, how to make. I love that. And then some people are just doing it just for skits, fun, like on Instagram and Facebook. They just want to create something crazy. Now you got people using Barbie dolls and puppets and all kinds of stuff just to make, crazy videos that make you laugh. And then sometimes you just want to edit a video because you had an event, maybe a friend or family member had an event, and you need to quickly put something together that's not going to take you forever. Now, one of the other reasons why I did this video is because I used to use Adobe Premiere Pro. And although Adobe is very, very dynamic, I take nothing away from Adobe Acrobat or Adobe Creative Cloud, but their software is highly complex and they do have like hundreds of templates that you can use. But oftentimes, those templates are very hard to kind of understand the layers and how you can apply audio, video, text, overlays, animations. It is really beneficial when you know how to use it. But I find that ClipChamp is so much easier to use. It's more of a click drag type of thing. It almost functions like Word a little bit with a little bit of PowerPoint and a little bit of something else. So that's what I'm going to be showing you tonight. So before you even make a video, you really got to understand the communication dynamics of the whole thing, right? Of what the message is really talking about when you think about videos. If you compare videos with commercials, which commercials is technically a video, right? That you see on TV that someone has produced and they had either paid actors or they are shooting to create some sort of message, right? So let's talk about this for a second. So if you're going to create a video, what is your message, right? What are you really going to be talking about in your video, right? What do you want people to kind of understand and walk away with? When my aunt, who was living at the time, she's a NAACP speaker, She's a pastor of, Sweet Baptist Union Church out in Roanoke, Virginia. And she used to go around speaking all the time. And I said, Auntie, how do I go out there and be a speaker? And she said, you're going to have something to say. She said, you have to have some sort of a message that people can really understand and take away and comprehend quickly. So what is that message in the video that you are really trying to get across? And then you have the second element, which is your image, right? So what is the image? Images are pictures or other videos that you're using in order to spark that visual element in the video. We see this all the time. So what an example, a perfect example is this, is that you might be watching Dr. Berg. If you're familiar with Dr. Berg, he's always talking about vitamins and how different things help your body, and he's really informative. But every once in a while, he'll throw a visual out there in the middle of his video to kind of just throw that visual in your head. And then what does it do, guys? What do you think the video does? Anybody want to take a guess what the video does when he does that? Or
It
anybody?
it creates a memory.
It creates a memory. It really does. That's the number one thing. What else? That's a great guess. You can put it in the chat too if you don't want to come off mute. Okay, nothing heard. Okay. So it creates a memory, it invokes an emotion. It makes you feel a certain way when you see these images because it's a shock and awe. One minute you're looking at the person talking, and all of a sudden you see this scene or this picture just pop up out of nowhere, right? And then you're sort of left with that as you're listening to the person continue their message. And then it sort of stays in your brain. And then the next thing we do right after that is we do what we do naturally. We share the information with people. We say, oh, I saw a video where Dr. Berg was talking about, low blood sugar and how your hemoglobin needs to be a little higher because you have diabetes. And then he flashes a picture of someone who potentially is supposed to be diabetic, and then you're taking that a shock and all type of thing, right? So a lot of times that message in combination with the image is what you're trying to get the person to kind of see your point. It almost sort of like validates what you're doing, just like you write a paper and they tell you to go get sources to prove your facts with sources. It's the same thing, right? So if you kind of think of it that way, right? The other thing is other videos that they kind of implement into the video that they're already creating, right? So they're creating a video, they throw a couple images up there, and then they might throw in another video with a different message to tie it all together. So now you have a combination of you talking, an image that's related, or maybe a card up top. Then you have another video that may be given a different perspective of the same subject, again sparking that visualization in their mind, their imagination. And then they're sort of like, okay, I can tell somebody about this specific video. But then all of that does not matter at all if you are not targeting the right people. Okay, you can make all of that look really, really nice. It could be the most best and beautiful video you've ever made, but it's not going to mean anything until you have actually targeted the right people. And so what happens is on social media is that it just goes out just like the commercial. It goes out and it just does this blast video to whomever will actually stop and look at it and give a like. But what you guys are going to learn in the class is that when you make this video, you're not looking for everybody to look at your video. You're looking for specific people to look at your video. So when you create a video, any kind of video, think about the audience in mind. Think about the people who you want to watch and listen and understand and visualize in your business or personal video that you're making. So whatever that video is, That's who you're targeting. That person who has that mindset that is going to listen to you, that's going to watch you do what you do in that video, right? So, any questions so far on that? So far, any questions? Any thoughts?
Nope.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So we're gonna go to the next slide. Okay.
Um,
So
Miss Austin,
yes,
pardon me, how you doing? How's
I'm
everyone doing in
good.
the
Hey,
group?
Kendrick.
Um, I,
Hey.
Hi, I was just speaking to my wife earlier. It also, in my opinion, creates what is called euphoric recall, which usually
Mhm.
has a negative connotation to it dealing with or stemming from addiction standpoint. What it entails is that um, marketing to the right people, something that has somewhat of a unique glitch to it. Um,
Mhm.
when whenever you're in, for instance, say a bright sunny day or it's raining outside, your mind or memory reverts back to what you've seen or heard. Everyone remembers that commercial with the camel on Wednesdays and that camel, Mike, 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 Mike. Everyone remembers that. So on Wednesdays, when you go into work, what was everyone saying at that time? Mike, Mike,
Hump
Mike, Mike, Mike.
day. It's
So
up Wednesday.
yeah,
Yes.
hump
Yes.
day. So that kind of plays into exactly what you're just teaching us there. So I just wanted to
Mhm.
bring that point to the table. Thank
That
you.
is the no, that is awesome. That is awesome, Kendrick. I'm glad that you kind of brought that perspective because that's exactly what commercials do. They actually implement stuff that have absolutely nothing to do with the subject, but it's something to get you to remember them. And so when people make videos, they are really sitting back thinking about how they're going to be creative, right? What is this really going to cost you to do these videos? If you think of every single YouTube video or whatever video you saw on social media that they had to sit and do, the time that they had to spend just to think this up, right? They had to come up with a concept, they had to come up with the way that the message was going to be delivered, they had to come up with maybe a plan or skit or something, or even this webinar that I'm doing with you right now. Okay, I had to actually come up with some sort of way to bring this message to you in a way that is going to be interesting and you're going to say, you know what, I know that I can use this. I mean, I'm pretty sure that people have saw stuff on video, even down to cooking a meal and actually tried it in their kitchen. Okay, I saw this video, I think I'm going to try this dish. Everybody has done something that they saw on video, right? So your time is what's going to cost you to do any video or any work whatsoever. So your time and how you're going to plan this video or to edit this video, that is what the cost is. And in business, timing is everything. You're going to hear me repeat this 1,000 times. Timing, timing, timing is everything. If you are not conscious about what's happening in your universe when it comes to time, and it doesn't even have to be business, it can actually be personal. Believe it or not, we all have a personal timetable that's just happening around us all the time, and certain things and opportunities is coming our way, and if we're not ready for that opportunity, we lose it, and then the time for that opportunity to come back around, you don't even know, right? So you got to be ready, like all the time. You got to be ready for that opportunity. So to do a video, you have to control the time that you're going to need to create that content, to understand that message, and actually like record the video, right? So that's what you got to kind of do. And if anything, it's not going to cost you anything for the application, but the time that you spend is how you're going to equate a dollar amount, especially if you're using a video to yield a revenue for a product. So if you're using it for business, and let's say you want that video to say get like 5 clients or to get a contract. For every minute you sit on that video, that's costing you a certain dollar amount of time. And that equates to how much work you're putting in. So if you're a consultant and you charge X amount of dollars an hour, then that is how much time you spent doing this one video. Okay. Or if you're charging, like, let's say you're charging $18, like you go into CVS, you see this bag of Reese's for $18, and you're trying to figure out why are they charging $18 for this bag of Reese's cups? Because somebody had to create this marketing material and decide on how much this plastic was going to be and decide how many pieces were going to go in there. And then they decided where they're going to distribute it. And by the time they spent all that time doing that, they actually took that money, divided it to how many bags they were selling it, to how many products. And that's how we got $18.99. Okay. So if you're using videos for to sell a product or service, you definitely have to be creative and have your plan in place before you spend the time doing a video and actually marketing the video. Okay. And that's through social media ads or just posting or spending time. It just costs money, right? So with that said, from a business perspective, okay, your message is everything. If people don't get your message like immediately today in today's world, you got to catch them on the first few seconds because they're flipping, man. Their thumb is on fire. They are just scrolling through. You have to be able to make them stop, right? So either that's shock and awe in the beginning of your video, and then you get into your message, or maybe the first thing you say in your message is something that captures someone's attention and gets them to kind of look and see what's going on. Or it might be your thumbnail that starts off the messaging and say, oh, that's clickbait. It's clickbait for a reason. It's trying to get you to click on it to stop scrolling, right? So that is the thing. So your message has got to be clear. It's got to be quick and it's got to be understood. So what are you selling? What are you trying to persuade people to understand about what you're saying, right? If you're teaching something, what is the lesson and the key takeaways immediately that they need to know so that they can be informed and learn from it? Not just learn, but they got to be informed and they got to learn. And when they learn it and they're informed, they'll remember it, right? But they're not going to remember it if one of the two is not together, right? The moment somebody says, oh, I want to go to class and go to get educated, they just quickly turn around in a circle and they gone, right? But if you turn that teaching and that information or that persuasion into a need, then it becomes, I need to hear this. I need to understand how to use this to my benefit. It becomes a want, not an option, right? Okay. So what you're selling, what you're persuading is everything in your message, right? And going back to your audience, that also matters to who you are trying to relay this message to. So that means understanding your audience. That means understanding where they're coming from, their pain points, where they live, where they go, who they hang out with, where they shop. I don't know if anybody has remembered the old Nielsen ratings when we actually had air like radio signal television instead of, the Wi-Fi Fios thing we got going on. We now, if you take it back 20, 30 years ago, that's how they were tracking people who were watching Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 50, Channel 20, all those channels through understanding the mindset of people who watch certain TV shows and actually watch through the commercials. The Nielsen ratings used to track different products that people will start buying in association with a video message. Okay, so when the video message or commercial come out and they saw a surge in spending in a specific area, they would equate that commercial to that line of spending, and that's how they had trends. If you guys kind of remember that, right? Does the problem that they have watching your videos, are they getting a solution? Are you fixing a problem? Are you giving them alternatives? Are you helping them out with some sort of piece of information that's going to help them say, hey, you know what? I got the best thing ever. I think I'm going to use this, right? And I'm going to come back to this channel again, right? We all subscribe to YouTube channels because we feel like whatever that person is saying to you is giving you benefits and value. So that is the difference. Is it valuable for you to spend your 20, 30 minutes listening and watching this person? And is it beneficial to you? Because now you can use it, and knowing the difference between the value and the benefits is why people watch videos, right? They definitely understand. Anybody y'all tracking so far? All righty, okay. All righty, cool. Any questions so far? Okay, all right. All right, so I wish I could eat this pizza right now, but I can't. You know, Costco's have like, I'm gonna tell you guys, Costco's has the most delicious cauliflower pizza you have ever tasted. I'm telling you, forget about Domino's, all them. You go to Costco and you get the cauliflower with the supreme topping, with the fresh toppings. I guarantee you, you would not go back to Domino's or none of those places. I'm telling you, it's one of the best pizzas ever. Next best, second best is Three Brothers Pizza. Number three is Domino's. Yep. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. This the fun part I like about videos is that you get to tell a story, right? Now, there's a difference between telling a story about your brand and selling your brand. Everybody wants to go to the immediate sell of the brand. And I'm gonna tell you, that's gonna get a quick scroll. People are gonna say, oh, it's an ad. It's an ad. Have you guys ever noticed sometimes that what they're doing now in videos is that they're telling a story while they're showing you what they do? They're not even they're not even trying to sell you now. They're actually playing some sort of music. They're probably playing a voiceover of a speech, or they're making some sort of voiceover to tell you about their day or something like that. And then the whole time you're watching the video, they're probably just building something. They're at the store. They're doing something that was really the whole core of the message, but you're not hearing that part. You're hearing something completely different, right? So what they're doing is they're making you stay long enough to not only watch what they're doing, which is the story, but they also have you listen to a story. So you have that's the creative part. So you those visualizations that you're going to notice in videos and in commercials is that they are all telling some sort of a story about their brand, whether they are the brand or the service is the brand or the product is the brand. So you get that story immediately, and they're using specific colors, and that is something I'll break down a little later. I won't go into because colors is a whole different topic. Colors is what draws people to feel and to do and to act. Believe it or not, colors. And it also targets specific customers when you use certain colors, right? So, bottom line, what is the customer looking for when they see your video? Okay, when they see your video and they understand your brand and they understand your story, is this the customer that would eventually convert that watch into a dollar sign? Right? That is the main thing right there. Can you convert that person who's on the other end of that screen that you don't know who it is to a dollar? That is the hard part. But on a personal level, you still want to have some sort of a story with your video because it makes it entertaining. It makes people want to talk about it. It makes it a conversation piece. It makes people want to come to you and say, hey, can you do my video? And that also can convert to dollars because now you got personal people coming to you and asking, hey, can you do my video? And then you give them a price and then you're making money, right? So how you make the money, whether business or personal, as long as the end result is you're getting paid for your time, right? So just kind of think of it that way as well. Let's talk about visual aids and then we're going to get into the thing. So, one of the ways that I use to do videos is first understanding how you can create your own images. You can create images using stock images, but if you want to combine images, there is a way to do that, right? So if anybody's interested in that, I can do a short class on how to take different images and create a whole new images. But I'm gonna put on the screen right now places where you can go that cost you $0 on what to use. So, so Microsoft Word actually has very good stock images, believe it or not, if you're kind of looking at it. They have stock images, they have pop-outs, they have vectors, they have icons. If you're kind of familiar with playing with the different shapes and stuff like that and knowing how to manipulate the shapes, you can make some really really good images. You can make different things that will help your video pop out. You can actually create that image, use the snipping tool to snip it and create a PNG or a JPEG with it and pop it into your video. Okay. The reason why you want to learn how to do this stuff, because sometimes you just don't have the money to pay for a license for a really good image. Or maybe the image that you're using could possibly not be free, because I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I used one image that's supposed to be on freepic.com, was supposed to be free pics. Come to find out that image wasn't free, and I ended up having to pay a $699 license, and they asked me to take it off my website because it was part of one of the articles that I did. And so I decided that I was going to invest in just learning how to use Microsoft Office and PowerPoint and all that to create my own version of images, right? So Microsoft Word is a great place to start to create an image, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm able to do that. ClipChamp is also free. Most of the features on there is 100% free. The only things that cost anything on ClipChamp is when you start using some of their higher level, like stock images or videos. But 95% of everything you're going to do in ClipChamp is 100% free. Okay. And snipping tool, of course, is part of Windows, so that's free. Windows Picture Maker is very good on cropping and editing and doing color correction. So you can use that to help with your images. I've used that many times. Some people like use Canva, which has a free component, but then again, you get limited. So then they're going to try to get you to do a subscription. But from starting out, you can use Canva to do free stuff. My all-time favorite one for images is Snapper app. I love Snapper app. I have been using that thing forever, and then I ended up using their subscription for 2 years. And then when COVID came, I actually stopped the subscription, but you can still use it for 100% free. They have thousands of backgrounds, lots of text, uses of all kinds of stuff. You can make any kind of flyer, any kind of banner you want. They do not do videos. They only do images. You can use their stock images for free, and their subscription is very, very cheap. And you can download these images. You can save them up on the cloud. You can use the snipping tool. Um, excuse me. I that is like my all-time favorite, right? Okay, Snapper app. Okay, if you don't get nothing else, get that. Now, GIMP is another one, which is a open source free image maker. Now, what I like about GIMP is that although it's a little complex, what really makes them special is that they know how to increase the pixels of an image. So if you have a photo that you're working with and it doesn't have like the right resolution or pixel size or canvas size, it can literally blow up that picture and add all the different pixels to it to clean it up. Okay. And that's what I love about GIMP. I used that one for a long period of time. So those are zero cost applications you can use literally like right now. With ClipChamp is literally going to the Microsoft Store. In the Start menu, you go to Start menu, type in Microsoft ClipChamp, download it for free. It installs on your Windows machine, and you're good to go. You don't even, I mean, you could sign in with your Microsoft Live, but you don't have to pay for any subscription up front, and everything is 100% free. Now, the other ones that I have down here at the bottom, low cost. Now, if you want to kind of go deep and you want to use Photoshop and Illustrator and Premiere Pro, then you could do that. But they're going to charge you like maybe $10 to $20, depending on, they keep changing their price points every time I go out there. So, but if you're familiar with it and you want to use it, I would say go for it. The only caveat is you need to make sure you have plenty of disk space. And when you export and render your videos, it will take a long time. Okay. Where ClipChamp actually did not take that long. It actually took maybe a third of the time versus Adobe products. It's very heavy on the CPU on your computer. So you kind of want to think about that. And also because they link a lot of their no microphone on here, because they link a lot of their applications together, they will most likely try to upsell a different Adobe product. Okay. CapCut, I hear they're good. I tried it out. It's okay. But they actually upsell a lot of their templates and some of their features that you cannot get with ClipChamp. You can get it for free. With CapCut, you got to kind of keep upgrading to get access to this and access to that. Fiverr, if you just don't want to do it at all and you want to hire somebody to do it, Fiverr is where you want to go and get someone to do it. Just know that every word, they have like a word limit to your videos. If you're doing voiceover, which I pay for voiceover, which was excellent, they charge by the words that they say, and they will also put the music to it. If you want the music and the voiceover, they have packages. So you have to kind of pick and choose which one you think you may want to use. Okay. Any questions about applications and creating images?
Now
No.
that Fiverr application, the Fiverr, is that like a per use fee or is that like a subscription that you could get?
So it's free, and it's a whole bunch of freelance people like myself that will go out there and say, "Hey, for $2, I mean for $250, I would do a complete video. Just send me your script, and I will say everything on your script and do the video for you and put the
Okay.
music to it for $250. So maybe for $50, I'll just do the voiceover and send you the audio file so that you can use it." So it's like a whole bunch of people who are
Okay.
offering their services from video to business plans to every, I mean, they do, you can find almost anything to
Okay.
writing a report to sitting up and acting like they're news channel folks. I mean, you anybody who's a freelancer, you will find on Fiverr, right? But they have different gig, they call them gigs, right? So every gig is a different price point, and most of the time they'll have three different levels of their service. I use Fiverr when I was doing my commercials for the BMWC podcast and for my magazine. I used to do voiceover. I had a lady do mine. She was actually the voice for the McDonald's commercial and some other commercials that I've heard her voice. And I paid her to do my voiceovers for my advertisements. And it was very successful that she, when I used it, I gave her the stuff and she did a really good job. So I would use it if you really like want to put stuff together and you just don't want to take the time. Okay, so here's some other suggestions too. Now, OBS is actually what I'm using right now in addition to Zoom. So OBS is an open source video creator. This is what the streamers use to stream on Twitch and all these other Discord and other places that you see the young people use. I'm using, and I'll show you this too also when I share my screen, how I'm using OBS to broadcast my video. And I am not on the cloud. If I don't want my video up on the cloud, like YouTube or somewhere, ClipChamp will put your stuff in the OneDrive, but I may not want my videos out on any cloud. So I like using OBS because I can actually use my OBS for so many different things. Number one thing is clear video. Okay, there's nothing worse than having video and you're not looking clear. Even if it's not 4K, if you can get 1080p out of it, it's better than having 720 or some other 480 low resolution. So I'm using OBS right now, which is called the OBS virtual camera with my camera that I have in here. Audacity is an excellent audio program for you to record your vocals. So like, let's say you're doing a voiceover and let's say you haven't got the video yet, but you want to do the voiceover because you have the content in your head. Well, you can open this up, get your microphone, hit the record button, and create your audio file. You can edit that audio file. If you make a mistake, you can cut some stuff out of there. You can squish it together. You can make it long. You can add layers, music to it. You can add anything you want in Audacity. It is 100% free to use. So is OBS. Doesn't cost you anything. Motion Array is an excellent place to go if you're looking for specific stock videos, video effects like transitions, ins and outs, YouTube intro, outro, subscribe with the bell. Has great video templates for Adobe and some other stuff. I've used them for years. They are really good. And I meant to change this GoToMeeting with Google Meet. Google Meet is good for videos, but I forget that Google Meet does not have a record feature. Um, But you can use it in conjunction with like GoToMeeting. You can use it in conjunction with other stuff that will record. So just scratch off that last bullet right there. Zoom video conference is also a very low cost. So for $15 a month, you can use Zoom just by yourself and hit the record button. So if I wanted to record a video right now, I can either do it with OBS or I can go into Zoom just like I'm doing right now, hit the record button and record myself doing a presentation like this and actually put it up in YouTube, right? Very easy. I can share it with people. It's instantly already in the cloud, or I can record to my computer. Or you can, and then you can use it to schedule meetings. You can have all kinds of stuff, right? With a Zoom conference. That's what I use. And then we already talked about Adobe, but Video HiveNet is another excellent place to get like short movies, short video scenes, video effects, video templates with the music. These two, Motion Array and Video Hive, they were like my go-to. I really used them a lot, especially when I did my podcast and I had to do all my video advertisements. Those are the two places that I used. There's some other ones out there, but I find that they had the best variety of stuff out of all the videos and musics that I saw. So those two, lock it in, and I'll share this video and this these slides with you guys so you can have that. Okay, now I know everybody said that you should use your phone, but I ain't gonna lie. If you're planning on doing videos, especially if you plan on going on YouTube and doing them on a regular basis, I'm not saying go out there and spend thousands of dollars. You can get the right camera for less than $250. You can get the right microphone for less than $150. I would not do everything on your phone unless you're just doing something outside and you're not really caring about it. But if you're trying to do quality videos, that you see on YouTube where you have the clear background, you have to set up your area for that kind of thing, right? So for me to do videos, it would not be in this setting with all my degrees and certificates. I would actually be in a different place that's less distractive, and I will actually just be me, and the camera, my monitor wouldn't be here in a way. It'd be a totally like different setup. Right now I have a nice microphone, I have a camera here. This microphone right here, my son, he's all into microphones, guy. He's a microphone connoisseur. I don't even know how you say it, but he's a microphone expert, okay? He got me this thing, and he knows everything about sound quality and all that. So when I say to you, get yourself a Rode mic, get yourself, maybe a nice video camera that you can use that has 4K, you will thank me later, okay? Because trying to get your video off your phone, trying to upload that, convert it, try to edit it, it's gonna be a pain, right? If you get the right equipment the first time, it'll make your life so much easier, right? And you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. You can even get a Logitech camera at Target for maybe $75 or even less. Okay, but get yourself a good one. You don't need to necessarily use green screen, but OBS do have features in there that you could use, just like I'm using right now. As you can see, I'm not using green screen. And I try to stay away from Zoom backgrounds because it puts this shadow around you that make you look all kind of crazy, you know. So invest in your videos. That's basically it. Now, last couple of things we're going to talk about is like I was saying, the video audio software, lights, lights. Okay, if you don't want shadows and look like a raccoon and all that, make sure you have lights in this room. I have a top light. I have lights on the other side of my room. I have this light right here behind me, so you can actually see me. Okay, so if your video is dark, then what's going to happen is, to Kendra's point, is that negative conversation is going to start becoming a distraction. So instead of them listening to your message, they're going to be like, what is that in the background? Why is the room so dark? They're going to be thinking instead of listening and watching. Okay, so they'll remember that, the negative, before they will remember anything else, right? So remember that. So make sure you have lights. Make sure that you have plenty of disk space to manage your videos. Make sure your microphone's on point. Make sure that your applications is working and that your systems is up to date so that you don't run into a Windows update at the time you're recording your video. Because what if you had like a really good take And then here come Windows updates, and then your machine starts acting up and you lose your video, right? Now you got to try to remember what you said. So make sure your systems. Now, as far as virtual space, please make sure you have a quiet area. Make sure that you can concentrate. Make it appealing, make it nice. Make sure your internet don't go out. Um, and if you do use a background, make sure your background is really, really clear so that when you're on the face of that background, that your head is not cut off, that your arms are not cut off, because that's going to be a distraction. People are going to be busy looking at that as opposed to paying attention to what you're trying to say, right? All right. Any questions so far before we get in a demonstration and look at ClipChamp? No. Did anybody need to stop, get a piece, get some water, get something to drink, take a minute? All right. So to start it off, and then I'm going to close this window and share my other screen, is this is what the interface is sort of going to look like when you first get into ClipChamp. You're going to have this home, and you're going to have templates, and then it's literally starting you off with a simple two things: your home screen, which is what you're looking at, and then templates, where it's going to give you a whole bunch of templates that you could start out. So if you're not sure like what to do, it's actually giving you templates to help you out, versus Adobe Premiere Pro does not do that. CapCut sort of tries to do that, but it teases you because it's giving you templates that's okay, but it's giving you premiums that is like all like that, but then they want you to upgrade. Well, we're going to cut all that out. We want to get to the bottom of it. When you if you're trying to do something for YouTube, they're trying to give it to you. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. And then for each one of these templates, it actually gives you like a whole storyboard layout that you can actually go in there and edit immediately, right? So that's what you can do. And then I'm going to show you how you can use these tools. This is an example of the video that I just did for the testimonies that you may have saw on my website. I use ClipChamp to do this. And I'm going to show you when I share my screen how you do your media. I'm going to show you how you actually record. I'm going to show you like where you get your templates from, how you apply the templates, how you do the text overlay, how you can do your closed captioning, and all that good stuff. So you good? You ready? All right, so I'm going to stop this and share my screen here. All right, let me know if you can see my screen. All right, so this is the actual ClipChamp screen right here. As you can see, it says, nice to meet you. It has get started with these easy things. It's going to literally give you, if you hit try it, it's actually going to open up immediately and try to use my microphone and my camera to record myself. It's like, it literally does not wait at all. The moment you click it, and I can't click this one right now because I'm actually using my video, but it's actually going to come up and try to use my camera and my microphone, and it'll give me an opportunity to set something up so I can actually start doing it myself. So then you also have like all of these templates. Okay, so in here you have YouTube. So they have all these templates here you can use if you're doing YouTube. If you're doing Instagram, they have some right here. So you can actually go over some more and you have Instagram. You have intro and outro. So if you're looking for something to bring to introduce your video or to exit your video, you have some templates right here that you can use. If you're doing gaming, if you're doing corporate, if you're doing slideshow, if you're celebrating somebody's birthday, if you have text where you see the text comes up and says something, there are templates for everything, right? Or you could just start off from scratch, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the test video so that I can show you how this works, okay? So I'm just bringing this up. So as you can see, this is the actual, this is a copy of the video. So I made a copy so I can mess this one up all I want to, right? So what you would do is, when you're ready to start a video, you have to determine if you're going to use images or are you going to use video or a combination, okay? So over here, I have a combination of my logo, which is an image, And then I have music here as well. Can you guys hear that music? Okay, so all I did was put my mouse over it, so now you can hear that, right? And so I have a couple of options of music, and then I have a couple of options of videos. Now, it doesn't matter what the length of the video is. It doesn't even matter like where on the video you're trying to do, because in ClipChamp, you get to select where you want to cut a specific scene, okay? So in here, I'm gonna just go over the menu items. So here in the My Media, you get to import different files. So if you have your file on OneDrive, you can grab it. If you have an image or a video on Google Drive or Dropbox or even Xbox, you can grab it. If I want to browse my content library of stuff I've already uploaded to the system, it's going to browse that. If I want to browse my Windows Explorer to look for videos, so like if I wanted to go look for videos, so I'm going to see here, I'm going to go here. And then let me see what's a good place. I'm gonna go to presentation, business development, build a solid video. So as you can see, here's the MP4 file right here. So if I was to go in there and import this video right here, then I just hit open and it's going to bring that video in to this screen right here. And if I wanted to bring that down here and play it, I could, right? I can actually bring that down here. And you saw how I just clicked and dragged that down there, right? I'll do it again. So I'm just going to click. And if I want to use this video wherever I want to use it at, if I want to bring it down somewhere on the next line. And by the way, each line is a layer. So I have text, I have my logo on one line, I have text on another line, I have a video on another line, music, and now I have this video. So every time you add a line, it's going to add to the overall video unless you hide it or something like that, right? So I'm going to take that off. So you can actually import all kinds of different things. So here's a thumbnail for that, how to build a business, solid business. There's my thing right here. Now, one of the things I liked about the other program is I can double click it and it will show up in this screen as a preview, but it doesn't do that unless I bring it down. So that's the only thing I didn't like about this part right here. Okay, so as you can see, I have the media. So when I play this thing here, it's actually going to start bringing in the text, and I'm gonna go over all of this stuff. Okay, so as you can see,
I would like to say
Welcome to all.
Okay. Oh yeah, I do have that closed caption thing. I've got to turn that off. Okay. Yes, Toya, you have a question. I think I see your hand up. Oh, you're on mute. Yep.
I'm sorry, I was trying to unmute, trying to put my hand down, all all the stuff. The layers part, right? I noticed as you were playing it, different things were happening. So are the layers happening simultaneously or in sequence? What is, I guess,
Yeah, it's both. So like, so for example, let me see if I can get this to come up. I'm going to zoom in. So as you can see, I have some of them in sequence, like this one would start first, and then after a few seconds, this one will show up, and then all of this will show up together at the same time, right?
mhm.
So before I go there, let me just back up because I don't want to kind of go too far.
Okay.
So this is how you do your media. When you want to record something, you can use your screen camera. So if I hit this button right here, let me see what's going to happen. It's probably not going to show you. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says I need my camera. So if you couldn't see that, or if I just say I want to do the screen, it will actually pop up and ask me, what screen do I want to record? And it will bring it up in a separate window for me to hit record. The moment I finish recording, it's going to bring it back into this media area right here. Okay, so it's kind of hard to show that specific feature because I'm currently using my camera and my microphone and things like that. The other thing you have here is additional templates. So if I wanted to apply a template to my project, let's say there was nothing down here, I can actually start off by just clicking one of these and it will bring that template over to my storyboard. All of this you see at the bottom is what is called a storyboard, okay? All this down here where you see the text and the video and the music. So think of a book that you have different pages with different pieces of information on it, and each line has a chapter, okay, in that book. So think of a storyboard that way. It'll make it easy to remember. So the first line might be, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and 4. Some of them might be in sequence. Some of them might also flow together to make one story, okay? The other thing you have over here is text. So as you saw in the beginning of my video, right here, you notice I'm able to move this up and down. So if I really want to see the storyboard, I can just make this bigger. And if I put my mouse here, I can just bring it back down. And as you can see, I have text. So I can actually click on some of this and actually create text messages. I can change the font. I can change the color. I can change the size. I can add any other like little function that they may have that comes with it. Like if it's a typewriter, it's going to do the typing thing. If it's like groovy, it's going to have, or fireworks, it's going to have this little animation built right in. With Adobe Premiere Pro, you have to actually add those layers to get that text to do that. Versus in ClipChamp, it's already built in. So once you have that, it's already there. There's no more figuring it out. Okay, you don't have to worry about that anymore, right? So as you can see, I have this before. I think I have clean title or something like that, and I just kind of brought it up here. And if I want to change the text, I can make this, any text I want. Right? So when I play it and I go back to the beginning, it's going to come up, need business help, and then I create videos just like that, right? I can change the alignment. I can actually say left, center, right. I can change the line color to whatever color I want. So let's say if I made it purple, if I made it green, if I made it red, I can change the colors. I can change the position to where this lands by just clicking on this little box here. I can just change that, right? I can change the font to just like that. I don't even, you notice I don't even have to select the whole word. I can just select whatever is I want, and it will change it for me. So in the other programs, you had to select the whole word, go over, find the thing, and then try to select the font. With this one, you just select a box, you tell it what you want, and it does it for you. Just like that. Very simple, right? The other thing you have that is really cool that I like are the transitions you use between the videos. So you have crossfade, you have burn. So when you put your mouse on it, it'll tell you exactly what it's going to do. And all you do there is that if I want to transition between this word and that word, I just come right over and pick the one I want, and I just drag it and put it in between or wherever is applicable that it'll allow me. So let me just do something for this. So I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to hit this split button, and it's going to split this video where I can move it now. See that? I can move that video. I literally just cut it in half, okay? And so when I split it, I can actually take this transition and just pop it there. Let's see if it'll let me do it. I noticed this one had to be a certain distance before it will let me do it. There we go, add a transition. Okay, so now the transition is there. So by the time it gets there, it should.
Always check then. And
It buffered because it's probably still trying to buffer, but that transition will show up in there. And whatever transition that I want to bring in there, it should do it. So there's a transition button. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little transition button right there in between the videos. Okay. So what you saw me do there is if there's a specific portion of the video that you only want and you don't want none of this other stuff, let's say you only wanted like maybe 5 seconds of what Chima's saying. So I just go to where I want to start, hit the clip button, this little split button right here. Then I'm gonna take my thing and I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna come over here right here. And I'm gonna hit split again. Now I can get rid of whatever I want to get rid of and just keep this the part that I want. You see how easy that is? When the other ones, you had to do a whole lot of go to the space, mark it, then try to go to the other spot, mark it, and then clip it, and then it was a whole bunch of stuff. Now, once I delete what I wanted from here, I can actually hit this delete button and it will close the gap for me just like that. It just closes it. I don't have to do a whole bunch of moving and sliding. I can just actually just hit that button and it will delete it for me. Or if I don't want a specific layer, you notice there's like a delete gap. If I hit that, it's actually going to bring my text over to this space right here. So, and as you can see, I'm using my zoom so I can really zoom in. If I really want to zoom in on those seconds, I can keep zooming until I get to the seconds that I want. So you guys are tracking. Did I lose anybody? And get some thumbs up. Make sure you're still alive.
Yeah, you still got us.
Okay, good. Okay. The other thing that's really nice about this, as you can see, that very quickly I'm able to go in and add like my music, and I can add any other element to make this video come alive. Now, once you have your video the way you want, you can actually share it and export it right then and there, right? You can actually hit export. It will ask you if you want to. No, I know I got a visual gap. I know that. And it'll ask you if I want to fix it. I'm gonna say continue anyway. You can actually create a file name. You can store it in OneDrive. You can change the location and store it on your computer if you want to. You don't have to store it in OneDrive. You can actually store it wherever you want to put your file, right? And if this was a brand new video, because this one was already created, but if it was a brand new video, you can actually publish it directly to YouTube, directly to OneDrive, directly to, what's it, Dropbox, directly to Xbox. It'll just go right there. But the only caveat is because I'm using free, I only get 500 gigabytes of space. If I want more than 500 gigabytes of space, I will have to upgrade to premium, which I'm not really doing that yet. When I start doing more, I will probably add more space. And the whole reason why you want to upgrade, because it saves your storyboard, it saves your configurations, it saves all that stuff in the cloud so that you can always go back and get it. Now, if I want to do closed captions, however, all I have to do is click this closed caption button and I can actually have AI generate it for me, right? I can actually do that. Now, you got to be careful with this one. You got to make sure that you hide the ones that you don't want the closed caption to do, because otherwise it's just going to keep on trying to close caption like the sound, and it will crash because it's not that sophisticated for free. So if I don't want it to close caption something, I can actually just right click on some of this and say hide, or I can actually hide the layer that I don't want to be included. And if I would hit it, it will automatically generate a closed caption file for me, right? So let me see if I can open up, I'll go back to here. I don't want this to back up. Let's see if I can go and pull up one that I actually did a closed caption for. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I did it with this one. Let's see. Gonna pull this one up. Oh, it's not on there. Text to speech. I guess it didn't save it. Okay, so normally what will happen is that it will save an STR file. So I'm going to bring that up because I think, let me see if I go to media here and let's see if it'll allow me to show it. Okay, gotta come over here. Where did I save it? Now I gotta think where I saved it at, y'all. I got too many places to save. Let me see. Hang on. Let me look in this other way. Be faster if I just do it this way. Let's see. Okay, I'll just bring up this one. Let's see if I can let you see that and share this. Okay, can you guys see this text file right here? Okay. All right, so in this text file, it'll give me timestamps for everything that Chima said from the time that the video has come on, right? So as you can see, it numbers it, right? It numbers it. And then after it numbers it, it'll have a timestamp. As you can see right here, it has a timestamp, and it will say, I would like to say thank you to Ann. Now, when you do your videos and you do the auto caption, it's going to attempt to listen to what the video audio is saying, and it's going to attempt to decipher what is being said and create this text file. And the whole reason why you're creating this text file is because you are because that's how YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn is going to like see in the closed caption. That's how they're going to know how to sync the words to the audio that's being played. So every time you see closed caption, this is the file that is actually reading. At such and such timestamp, he said would. And at another timestamp, he said thank you or something like that. Now, when it generates, and you download this, you want to read it and make sure that the words are spelled correctly, because I might have said Sunday and it might have spelled it a different way or misspelled the word Sunday because maybe my pronunciation is kind of weird or something like that, right? So you want to open this file up, take a look at it, make sure that it's correct, that there's no misspelled words and things like that. And this is what this file looked like. So when you're done with your video, and you upload it into YouTube, or maybe you're sharing it with LinkedIn or Facebook, it's going to ask you, do you have a SRT file, which is a standard read text file, and you upload this file and it will actually sync that file with the video audio automatically. And then you have closed caption, just like that. Just like that. It's really easy. Yes, I have a question. I
So
see somebody hand up.
yeah, so Ann, if you did have to correct it, do you just hit that edit button?
Yeah, so I can just edit it right here and hit save. So if I wanted to change something in here, I can edit it immediately in this file and just change it.
Okay.
Yep. So when people say and in closed caption, they think in AND, not ANNE. So I had to go in there and correct my name. He had said some other words that the ClipChamp thought that he said, but he actually said something else and corrected the spelling. And then once I did that, then I just uploaded it after that. Okay, so let me go back into ClipChamp. Okay. All right. Let me just show my meeting. Okay, and my screen. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to show you was text to speech, right? So text to speech, let me see, how did I get back to there? I got to bring this back over so I can see it better. Okay, text to speech was when I got to probably go back to the other one. So let me just go back to here, continue without backup. Let me come back over here. Okay, now once I got over here, better, smarter, faster, captions, effects. Now, on this side of the screen, the right side of the screen, you do have your other text and your other transitions for fade. You can fade the video in and fade it out. You can add additional effects here to your text messages, and you can adjust your colors and everything. And I was trying to think what happened to my text-to-speech area. So I did have a text-to-speech area here. Like, what happened to my text-to-speech? Okay, I might have to click on an area of the video to have it come out. Let's see, closed caption. Try it now. Okay, English. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it has on the screen transcribe with AI. And I can actually filter any profanity or offensive language. And then I hit transcribe media. And as you can see on the screen, it's trying to transcribe this here. Can you guys see that? Okay. So it's trying now, it may, I hope it don't crash on me or nothing like that, right? But as you can see, I can turn it on and turn it off. I can download that SCR file or something like that. And if I turn it off, it's going to stop. So I don't want it to act up. But yesterday when I was in here, and I think I may have done something to kind of like get rid of it, but I had a feature that was text to speech. And in the text to speech, I believe I was coming in here to do it and I tried it out. Let me see, text to speech. Okay, so if I hit this, try it. Okay, text to speech. This is another cool feature too. Okay, so as you can see, it has text to speech. In here, I can actually put a phrase or anything that I want in this text box, and this thing will talk for me. So, like if I wanted,
Choose from a variety of voices to help you create a story worth sharing.
did you guys hear that? Okay, so I don't want to use my voice on these videos. Okay, I don't want to use my voice at all or my face. So let's say I had a video here and I had created it. I don't want my voice to be heard. So I'm going to type in here whatever I want to type in here. Uh-oh, I got to relaunch it because I did that. I had too many elements on the as you can saw, too many elements on the closed captioning. So I won't do that no more. Okay, text speech. Let's go ahead and get back in here. I figured it was going to do that. Okay. All right, I'm back in. Okay, so let's say I go in here and I say, welcome to today's webinar. Will you to use ClipChamp beginner? Okay, and if I hit preview, she's gonna say it.
Welcome to today's webinar where you will learn how to use ClipChamp beginners.
And if I don't like that voice, I got like a whole list to choose from. Like I got all of these. I can even choose a male or a female. I keep hitting on this, put the window here.
Welcome to today's webinar where you will learn how to use ClipChamp beginners.
Now, once I add that, as you can see down here at the bottom, there is a text-to-speech option that is going to span throughout whatever seconds that it is. So if it takes 5 seconds for this person to say whatever it is they're going to say, that's how long this line is going to be, right? So you can add your video in here, you can add your music in here, you can add whatever you want in here. So whenever you see those videos that have like a voiceover, this is exactly what they're using to do. They will have their video with no sound, and then they will create their own text to speech, their own music. And this is how you see the videos where they're doing one thing and they have music and then they have a voiceover. Okay. So this is perfect for that type of application. You can add your media in here. So if I was to go in here and say add a media, I'm going to import a media. I'm going to browse some files. I'm going to bring in this video right here, just like that. I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to move this back over to the beginning. And if I wanted to detach the sound from this one right here, I could detach the sound if I wanted to, but if I didn't, it's going to play together. Oh, I guess not. It's not going to play. Maybe because I have some other stuff here. So I have to figure out, how this is going to work. But the whole point is you would detach the audio so that you can put your voiceover with the video and then export it out. So I wonder what would happen if I was to attach the video. So if I was to go here, let me see. Oh, I have to hit save. Okay, that was my fault. I didn't hit save. So now it should play. It should play now.
Welcome to today's webinar where you will learn how to use ClipChamp Beginners.
Just like that. And don't pay no attention to that girl right there. That was me 140 pounds ago. So don't pay no attention to that lady right there. So that's how you would do that. You actually create your own voiceover, and as it's playing, this video will be playing with it. So when you export it out, it's going to all come together. Okay. The other thing you can do too, which is really cool, is that if you have a video where one portion of your video has low audio, you can actually control the audio volume and the noise suppression by just turning up the volume. So if you have music, you could turn the music down and have the person speaking to be louder, or you can have the other way around where you want the music to be louder and the other person to be lower. And you can also add transitions and fade in and fade out. And you can also control the speed in which the person is talking. So if I wanted to like speed it up, I just speed it up a little bit. Let's see what happens if I do that.
Welcome to today's webinar where you will learn how to use ClipChamp Beginners.
See how fast that was, right? So I can even make it slower if I wanted to. I can make him real slow. He'll probably sound like he's a little drunk there for a minute. So let's see what he sounds like.
Welcome to today's webinar where you will
Yeah, so you can have fun with it, right? So, but as you can see, guys, it really is not hard at all using this program. I mean, if I had to compare this with Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects, you will be going crazy over there. I wish that they had this before COVID because I would have made so many videos with this stuff. And if you were to go and get this premium, it's probably like I think it's like $10 or something like that. If I wanted to upgrade to like yeah, if I wanted to upgrade to premium, it's really not that expensive to get premium. Premium just means that there are certain videos that may be a little bit higher than the templates that you see in here, but most of these templates right here are not even premium. They're mostly free. I think they give you additional templates on top of all of this. And then the other thing you can do to get images for free is if you have already have a Microsoft 365 subscription, you can go to the Microsoft website and just pull down their presentations, pull down their templates. They come with stock images that is not in like your normal like Word. They have like other images that you can pull down and use in your videos or use to your like anything that you were doing for marketing purposes, right? So how do you think? What do you guys think about ClipChamp? I think it's cool. Yeah, I think it's something you guys can be able to use.
Yeah, I personally think it's awesome too. Um, and it can be used in all capacities, I guess, of business, advertising. Um, Pretty unique. I personally didn't know that it was even out there.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so yeah, that's that Office 365. So they want me to upgrade. So you can actually get ClipChamp by itself. You don't have to like buy the whole 365 subscription and all that kind of stuff. You just want ClipChamp. You can actually just install ClipChamp. They have different flavors of ClipChamp. So let me show you this other uh website here that's going to also give you some help as well, in addition to what I showed you guys tonight. ClipChamp actually has a website where you can go and learn everything you need to know about how to use this program. They actually have on here how to use the navigation bar, how to use YouTube, how to do Instagram reels and shorts. So even when you're on one page, the moment you scroll down to the very bottom, let's say you didn't even read all this stuff and you just wanted to find a specific thing, don't even worry about reading all this. Once you get down to the bottom, they have edit video, rotate video, trim a video, crop a video, record. And then on each one of them, they also show you like how to do YouTube, how to do Instagram, how to do anything anything that you're trying to do, um, you can do it with this. Now, also, you're going to find out that Google Drive, that I just found out today, that Google Drive also just put out a new video platform in Chrome. So I do not know about that yet, but I see that they trying to be in competition. So I'm really highly interested to see what Google Chrome did. They call it Vids, like VIDS. So that's another video platform that I'm gonna check out to see if that's something that's worth us even looking at. But I would say for the first time doing business, this is the way to go. Also, another one that's built into Windows that's free as well is Power Director. Very easy to use, not as friendly as this one, but it's still easy to use. The only caveat is that it will put Power Director on your videos, and sometimes you don't want people to know what you use. But I would say this one by far is the best one that I've seen that's a free product to use. That's why I had to do a webinar on this one because I'm like, nah, we gotta learn about this one. And as you can see, they have pricing here. So you can do it, create videos for free. You can get the free thing. They're trying to sell the premium features with 365, but you don't need to have 365 just to use it. You can actually have it by itself by just signing in. Um, and they have a work version, an education version. Um, yeah, I just like everything about it. So yeah. So hopefully this stuff is useful to you guys. I did post some quick, like a quick fact sheet of what we showed you, or at least what I showed you tonight. And hoping for any questions you guys have, because that's how, oh, I know what I was going to show you, OBS. Let me show you my screen. So let me show you the OBS things that I talked about, okay? So okay, let me know if you guys see my video right here. So this is video of me. So in OBS, you guys have this is another free open source program. So the only thing I did was I downloaded this, and you get like this black screen until you actually hook up your camera, right? So in the screen here, you have a scene, you have a source, which is what I'm capturing, which is I'm capturing my video. So first you create a scene, just like you do in a movie, you create a scene. And then after you create a scene, then you can add audio and video, right? So Miriam, the best video editing app by far that I would say editing is Windows Video Editor. It's good. 3D, what is it called? 3D app. I think that's in Windows. It's also really good. 3D app is also really good. Paint is really good. Uh, GIMP is really good for making bigger and more pixels and making your image come alive. And also, once I get it into Word, I really use Word a lot to create my images, right? Um, so you have a scene, and then here, what I have here is my video. This is where I tell, this is where I tell where my camera is. So as you can see, I'm using my Logitech group camera, which is really a conference room camera when I have my office. And so I'm telling it that I want to use my camera. I can use my computer camera, or I can use my OBS virtual camera, or something like that. But right now I'm just pointing to my normal camera. I can give it a 1080p, a 1920 1080p. I can choose the format I want, but most of the time you just want the default because you don't want to add too many filters. One filter may override another filter, so just having it at 1080p is good, right? Then after I have that, then I can add my audio, which is my microphone. Okay, so here's my microphone, my HyperX Quadcast. This is a really good microphone my son gave me. What is also really nice about it is that it has like weird colors. I can do colors, or I can have a standard color. It comes through very well. I really like it. I like the Rodecaster Pro as well, and also my desktop audio. Now, it's really important to make sure that both this audio and your system audio matches so that when you record your video, your sound will also be recorded. If you don't see this line bouncing around when you're talking, which I'm not sure why, there it is. So now this, somehow or another, my microphone got cut off, but now I'm on my other microphone, as you can see. My lights are on and everything, and this thing is kind of like bouncing around. You want to make sure this thing is bouncing around so that you can be recorded. Okay. You have scene transitions. I can create another capture. I can capture an application. I can image to make my background. I can create other type of videos. I can live stream with this if I really wanted to. But right now, all I like OBS is to record a video. So if I'm on here, I can set up my lighting. So let's say I want to make like the way I'm looking now, how crisp this looks is because I'm going to my video and I'm going to filters. And then in filters, I'm telling I want to sharpen it. I want color correction so I can choose my gamma, my contrast, so I can actually show how bright the room is. I can change the color to make sure my skin color is correct. I can change the opacity to make me either look brighter or like if I was to change, I think it's already at 100. I could change this one. So if I want to dim it, I can do that. If I want to do the hue, all these different features I can configure with my camera. So when I'm ready to record, this is how clear I'm looking. Okay. If you don't do any of these things with your camera, coming out the box is going to be good, but until you actually go into the camera settings and actually set it according to your environment, you don't want like dark circles or shadows and things like that. So you want to take the time to kind of fool with your camera, make sure that everything is all good and everything. And once you have it, then I'm up here on this canvas. So I can actually raise this up. I can have backgrounds if I wanted to. If I had a green screen behind me, I used to do as green screen. If I had a background, that green screen will literally put that screen directly behind me and it looks like I'm really sitting in that room. That's how clear that OBS can make it, right? It'll make it really look like you're sitting in that room, right? Now, once I have everything the way I want, I can just hit start record and it will record to my computer. And I can actually go up to files and say show recordings. And once I do that, I don't know if you can see this, but it will take me to File Explorer and show me all the recordings that I've done with OBS. And because I'm using OBS, I can use my virtual camera right here at the bottom right here, where you see it says Blues Stop Virtual Camera right here. This right there. I can actually project this camera into Zoom. I can do a Facebook Live. I can do an Instagram. I can do what's that? Twitch, Discord, wherever the streaming software is. I can stream this program directly to where I want, or create the video, pull it into ClipChamp, and then edit that video, right? So this is definitely something that you will want to get, okay? And just like ClipChamp, they have a help section, they have a form where you can ask questions. It's really not that difficult. Once you create a scene and you add your camera and then you add your audio, you're literally like ready to record like right then and there. Other than just, just going into properties and making sure you have filters in here so that you can like edit. You can add a chroma key. These are more advanced functions on how to like configure your video. These are for people who are really doing like overlays and like little tiny over here and big one over there and screen sharing and double sharing. If you're trying to do those things, that's where these will come in. But most of the time, you're just going to do sharp and you're going to do color correction. And once you have those two in there, you're good. If you want to do an audio filter, like if you want to sound like a studio, you want to mess with the gain, you want to mess with some of the areas of the audio to make it sound a certain way, you can actually add filters to your audio in the same interface for your video. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. nothing really too difficult at all using that. Okay, now I think, yeah, I think that was probably most of what I was going to show you. Let me see, Windows. Let me see, I think the other one was Windows 3D app. I think that was the one I was looking for. 3D Paint. So 3D Paint is also an app you can use. 3D Paint is good. Windows, let's say, I think this is Windows Video Editor, which is also good. Microsoft has in their store a whole bunch of different video editors that are for free to a point, right? So you could try it out and see which one works best for you. But I do like Power Director. I do like 3D, the natural Windows apps that they have for editing videos or editing images. I myself like using Microsoft. What's the name of my mic? Let me see. What is the name of my mic? Let me see. What's the name of my mic? Uh, it's called HyperX Quadcast. HyperX Quadcast. Yeah. Let me see. I think I have the app on here. Let me see. Microsoft Quadcast. Let me see. Microsoft. Let me see. HyperX. HyperX. I'm trying to go to, I'm gonna just share I'm gonna share the interface that my son installed for me, the HyperX. Okay. So can you guys see my screen? Okay. All right. So on here, if I can bring this back up, I can bring this over here so I can actually. Okay, so I have my microphone. And as you can see, I have my little fuchsia color going on because ever since I did my pretty party, I've been like in fuchsia. I can actually change the colors of my microphone. Like I can sync my microphone and change the colors. And I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but as I'm going around the circle, my microphone is actually changing colors, right? And I can actually make it brighter, make it lighter. There was also a thing on there where I can make it do all kinds of weird circly things, confetti. Let me see, slow, fast. These are the effects or something like that. Let me see, where's the other setting here? I got a omnidirectional. I have a polar panel. I have a monitor playback section. I have a light sync over here. Oh, I know what it was. It was lights. Let me go over here. Okay. Now I don't want to unlink my microphone. Okay, I guess I can't do it because I'm constantly using it right now. But darn, I want to show it to you guys. I can make this thing look like a twirly candy cane and some other little fun stuff, right, with the microphone. So it looks like as long as I'm using it right now, it's probably acting all crazy. But yeah, I can actually create any color that I want. And actually, if I don't like this color, I can actually add a new color if I wanted to. Okay, it won't let me do it. It won't let me do it. Okay, well, it has all these cool little features. So when you get it, if you decide to get this microphone, you would definitely like it. And if you don't want to see any colors at all, just turn it all the way off like that, and it's completely black if you don't want to see any colors at all. But this is how my son kind of turned me on to this microphone. It's really cool. It's a really cool microphone. I really like it. Let's see. I think these are just the settings. I heard a question.
I'm sorry, I was saying which camera also do you have?
Oh, now this one is an older one, but what I would suggest is you get either the Logitech, any Logitech 4K camera. You can get them from Target, Amazon. They cost less than $75. If you get like the one that's like close to $100, you'll get a better quality, but it sits right on your monitor. What I have is a Logitech E3000 conference camera. And I got this camera when I had my office and I actually had a conference room and it actually moves with me. It's really cool. It has like a remote to it. and it comes with these microphones that I can use at a conference table. So when I, had to give up my office and my conference table, I decided to keep my conference equipment because I just never know when I'm gonna need a great camera. Another good camera that I would suggest is I know that some people are using like the SR, what is it called? It's I forget the name of the model, but I'll send it in the email with the link. But there's a specific camera that people are using that they can actually stream with. That's great to stream with. And you can use like right now I'm using a tripod that's literally on the other side of my monitor here. So like if I was to zoom out like that and to kind of come down, you can see there's my monitor right there. And I can actually, turn different directions. So I can actually turn all the way this way and I can turn all the way that way. Now Logitech may not do all of these features. So you have to kind of figure out which one is the best for your setup, depending on your room and things like that. So my office here is like half office, half craft room. So when I don't want to do business stuff, I just go to the other side of my room and I can create crafts, I can make things, paint things, build things. I like building stuff with wood. I like building tables and I'm like a big old carpenter, right? So you should see my other side. I got dolls, I got paintings everywhere in here. That's what I like to do when I'm not, doing this kind of stuff. So yeah,
Thank
so
you.
there you go, guys. This is how you use ClipChamp. Questions.
Good evening once again. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Early on in the webinar, we was speaking about um, messaging is everything. And one of the bullets pointed out, are you selling, persuading, teaching, or informing? Who is your audience? Do you understand them? I
Hmm.
sat in a SBDC webinar, and one of the hosts said, shoot for the stars. And if you don't get to the stars, at least you'll be amongst the sky. With
Wow.
with that being said, now I'm being
Mhm.
funny here. True story. About 15, 20 years ago, my wife, she was wearing a slip. No, she wasn't. And I said, babe, where's your slip? And she could have beat me up. Unbeknownst to me, they came out with these things called Spanx. So hypothetically, if I was trying to sell Spanx, if this was my product that I'm selling,
Mhm.
I wouldn't want to just um, try to sell to ladies. I would want to try to sell to kids, to husbands. Maybe they can buy their wives and all of that. So the question on the table is, how does one, I'm trying to, as the bullet says, who is your audience? Do you understand them? Well, how does one come up with a feasibility study for marketability uh, to everyone? I don't just want to um, offer my product to women per se. I wanted to kind of offer to everyone, yet and still, I don't want to waste time. My time is my most valuable asset, money, and resource, so forth and so on. But I don't want to leave that market untapped, those potential customers untapped. So
Mhm.
how do we get to know um or understand who are we marketing to? Or would that be a question for the cohort coming up?
Well, yes and yes. Okay. So I'm gonna answer that question right now because I love that question that you asked. Okay, yeah. A lot of us we shoot for the stars, right? But here's the reality of it. Spanx was created because there was a problem with women wearing slips, and we wanted something more comfortable than a slip. Okay, that's just the bottom line of it. I used to wear slips. I hated it. You know, it was like a layer of a skirt on a skirt. Sometimes I just wanted to have something that will hug my body and I could still wear my skirt and still feel comfortable wearing what I'm wearing without having layers of slips, because most of the time the slips was just really so thin and it really didn't serve a purpose. It was made for women. It was made to solve a problem. And yeah, we can probably try to sell that to kids, but what kids are going to walk around with slips? Okay, so think about it for a second. Yes, everybody wants to advertise to everybody, and that's cool to for awareness purposes only. I heard that there are Spanx out there that I can get my wife, that I can get my daughter who don't like wearing slips. See, you know, when I was growing up, I stayed wearing suits like this. I grew up wearing slips like my grandmother wore slips until I became a tomboy and I wanted to dress up and I wanted to be a boy. Okay, not so much a boy, but I like the comfortability of boys, right? So even in my 58 years of life, I still walk around with, they now not called Spanx no more, they call leggings. Okay, so I like wearing leggings because it's the most comfortable thing that I can walk around in, right? So with that said, you can advertise the benefit and the value of Spanx to everyone. But the people who are going to buy are the ones that need it, and they are women. I can offer this class to everyone in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, but only the people who are going to need it are going to be in the class and or pay for it or take advantage of a program. You see what I'm getting at? I can tell everybody about it, and you maybe from your friend or coworker say, "Hey, I heard of a course," and then that word gets out, right? Doesn't mean that they're my customer. Okay, doesn't mean I'm gonna make money with them, but they are advertising and I don't have to pay for that, which is a benefit and a value to Austin Tech because now I have free advertisement that's from word of mouth, right? Now, how it translates to a dollar is when the value really kicks in because now the benefit is that you know about it. The value comes in if they pay for the course and get something out of it. So I'm giving something to them, they're giving something to me, and therefore that's the connection, right? So that's why when you advertise your message, you got to know who are you trying to reach with that video because those are the ones that's going to buy. Those are the ones that's going to buy. And at the end of the day, they're going to either think about buying, they're going to contemplate, they're going to call, they're going to ask questions, they're going to, ooh, I don't know. But you already know if they wasn't interested, they wouldn't even gone that far. It's just a matter of showing them why they should buy. Why should they even like keep considering it? Once they call you and say, oh, you know, I like those Spanx, and they keep going back, they looking at it, they picking the price, and they, I don't know. It's because they're not sure what the value and the benefit is. That message has not been translated strong enough for them to say, I just gotta have it right now, right? Think about this video, this webinar you guys are at. I sent out one advertisement saying, let me show you how you can create it for free. Your benefit was, okay, I can spend an hour and a half listening to Ann because the value to me doing it for free is bigger than me not having money right now. And I know at some point I'm gonna have to advertise. So let me go ahead and get in this video. And everything I shared to you was either a value or a benefit because you need it, right? That's why you're here. If I didn't communicate that message to you, you wouldn't even be here tonight. You'd be like, oh, I ain't thinking about that. I can do that anytime. I'll go to YouTube. You know, think about that, you know? So that's how we understand the mindset of people who buy. You got to dig into that psyche of who is that persona is. And in the cohort, what you're going to find out is how do you identify that behavior? How do you identify that person that you're trying to get after through a whole crowd? It's like when he said throw it in the stars or be part of the stars, it's because if you throw it out there, and you don't hit your mark, you will be out there with the rest of the stars just looking around. You're not going to know who those other stars are if you don't understand where you're throwing it. Think of a football game. Why would the quarterback throw a ball out in the field of other players if he doesn't know where the receiver is? You got to know what a receiver is for him to catch the ball and make the touchdown. If you just throwing the ball just to be throwing the ball, guess who's going to you're going to get an interception.
Understood.
Yeah, and then that interception turns into somebody else taking your idea and using it and making money. That's just the way business work, you know. So yeah, you can throw. I don't think that they should have said just reach for the stars. I do think that they meant to say think big, like think like deeper into what you are trying to do with what you know your service and how are you serving, because think about when you go to the store, when you're on Amazon buying a product, when you're evaluating even something as much as trying to figure out what type of phone you want. Flip the script. If you were the person selling it to someone, or you're the one that's trying to buy it, what are you going through just to determine how much you think that thing is valuable for, or what the benefit is? So flip the script of how much work you're going to have to do just to convince someone of that same value and benefit. And people get value and benefits mixed up all the time, right? Okay, so yeah, I have used fiber is good, something that, yeah,
Thank
some
you.
of them can be expensive. Fiverr could be expensive if you know you got the right one and they got a lot of reviews. Yeah, their price is going to go up because their value is going up. The more reviews they get, the more valuable their work is going to be, and people feel confident that they're going to get what they pay for. You know, like people say, you get what you pay for. If you go cheap, people think that you're going to get cheap, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get cheap all the time. It all depends on the value of what it is and the company and their reputation. And that's one of the things too you're going to learn in business. Your reputation is everything. If you are not transparent with your business, people will see through you, and you're going to have a tough time trying to, you know, make connections, try to do business with people because you're not being forthcoming to what it is that you're actually offering. People trying to do all this extra advertising and talking in circles instead of just being straightforward about what it is that you do, right? And so doing videos, believe it or not, exposes you to that. It actually exposes your vulnerability in videos. Okay, it literally opens up people's mind about how much you really know and how much you really don't know in a video, because there's no filter between you and the person watching the video. Yeah. So that's true. If you look at any video, you could tell whether or not they're knowledgeable or whether they just blow a smoke. Yeah. That's a great question. So you started something up. You started up, Kim. Started stuff up. Yeah, economically, quickly, especially everyday use. Thank you. Okay, yeah, that was a great question. Okay, I'm open for any others. If not, that's really all I have for tonight. I don't want to hold you guys anymore, but thank you so much for coming out tonight for the video. The next one that we're going to be doing on the 25th of the month is for anybody that's a SB student, you know, small business student, and you have an ID number that I gave you. We're going to talk about how to make a marketing kit. So I'm actually going to show you how I created mine so that you can understand how to use yours. And so if you want to come to that webinar, that's on the 25th, which is the fourth Wednesday. So that one is specifically for small business students. And then the one we're going to have after that in March is how to use public speaking to elevate your business. So to be a business owner, you have to know how to talk. You got to know how to speak and do it in a way that is understandable, clear, that you got to be able to articulate certain things. So we're definitely going to be talking about that. That's open to everybody. And then the one we're going to be doing after that on the 25th of March, which is open to everybody, is how to do a capability statement. So marketing kits you can use for promotional purposes. Capability statements is if you're really trying to make that connection and do government contracting in the future, or even if you're trying to get work for hire type contracts, you definitely want a capability statement. It is a stronger marketing tool that you want to use for your business, right? So you definitely want to not miss that because those things are not covered in the course. So those are the ones that's going to be for February and March. So hopefully you do that. And don't forget to sign up as a member. Don't forget to be part of the newsletter so you don't miss out. There's been a lot of grants flying around right now for small businesses and nonprofits. So I've been posting that. So make sure you be part of the membership on the website. Okay. All right, guys. So that's all I got. Kendrick, if you want to hang back after the meeting, I appreciate you all. And I'm open for any questions if you still have some right now. And if you don't, just send me an email. I'd be happy to help you out.
Thank you. This was very nice. Thank you so much. Have a
You're
great day.
welcome.
Thank you.